Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Okay, today I want to present about the pressurized water reactor. Before I start, let me introduce myself. My name is Nashaira binti Roslan and my number matric is 1170-264. Do you know what we are going to learn today? Today, we're gonna learn about the pressurized water reactor. What is pressurized water reactor? Pressurized water reactor is the most common type of nuclear power reactor that used in the world. The statistics show that almost 66% of the world nuclear power reactor are made up of PWR and the rest is BWR, AGR and PHWR. In the United States, the current technology used is light water reactor to generate the electricity power. PWR is one of the three types of light water reactor, and the others is BWR and SCWR. PWR is one of the light water reactor. But why? Because it uses of light water that can act as coolant and a transmoderator. The coolant, which is light water, is kept at very high pressure so that it doesn't boil. PWR has two water systems. One is called primary system that heat generated in the reactor, and the secondary system that produces electric power with the steam generated by the heat. The primary and the secondary system are closed loop, so they never mix each other. Hello guys! Do you know where the heated water is transferred? The heated water is transferred through the heat exchanger, where the water from the secondary loops is converted into the steam. Thus, the secondary loops is completely free from the radioactive stuff. Okay, now we are going to learn about the property of pressurized water reactor. The first property is the light water is used as the coolant and the moderator. The coolant is kept at very high pressure so that it doesn't boil. Then, the moderator are functioned to slow down the fast neutron and it will reflect back into the core to sustain a chain reactor. The second one is the pressure must be 16 megapascal or about 150 times atmospheric pressure. This is because to remain the water in the liquid form at the very high temperature, the water in the reactor is pressurized by the pressurizer in the primary loops. When the pressure is high, meaning that the boiling point of the water is also high. At high pressure, the water can operate at extremely high temperature without boiling the water. Water must boil at 350 degrees Celsius. The temperature of the water that enters the reactor is at 290 degrees Celsius and the water is heated in the reactor core to 325 degrees Celsius and the critical temperature of the water is 374 degrees Celsius. The pressurized water reactor also have their own characteristics, so don't miss it. First characteristic is the higher moderator density are possible to minimize the fuel rod stage. The second is the absence of bulk boilings in the core limits the cladding corrosions and increase the fuel reliability, and it generates an extremely low quantity of radioactive substance. Next, the self-control mechanism are inherent and a self-shutdown capability is ensured by gravity insertions of control rods in emergency. Next, the reactor and the turbine system are separated by steam generator. Therefore, the turbine system design of the combustion power plant grade is visible. Hello guys, are you ready? Okay, let's explore to the components and the functions of pressurized water reactor. The first component is the reactor vessels. The core inside the reactor vessels create heat. The second is the steam generator, where the water is vaporized in the second loops, then produce steam. The third is the pressurizer, where the pressure is maintained in the primary system. Next is the turbine and the generator. The steam line directs the steam to the main turbine, causing it to turn the turbine generator, which produces the electricity. Then, the unused steam is exhausted to the condenser, where it is condensed into the water, and the cooling tower is functioned to cool down the condenser water. This is how the PWR are operated. To be more understand, let's watch the video.
Pressurized water reactors were developed in order to contain this reaction in order to transform that energy into usable electrical energy. Quite simple, very effective, but very important. The design is very important. So let's start with the first part, this primary loop, where the reactor sits, the pump sits, and additional components sit. So within this primary loop, water is heated by the nuclear reaction and is pumped through the system. A pressurizer pressurizes the water up to 15.5 bar, which is roughly 50 times the amount of pressure that's in your car tire, and the water moves through the system. Now, the reason why the water is pressurized so high is so that the water, when it's heated up to temperatures of 600 degrees Fahrenheit, it won't boil. So as it flows through the system, still liquid, it comes in contact with a separate system known as the secondary loop or the steam generator. The water in this system is not pressurized, so when it comes in contact with that very hot water, through conduction, the water is heated and it boils. This boiling water is known as steam, flows through additional piping where it runs through a turbine. It is pressurized, and as it goes through this turbine, it spins a generator and electricity is formed. And this is what we use as the energy that it provides. The 20% of our energy is through the electrical energy. And so it's been very effective and very useful, and for the most part, very safe. Now the third loop within the system is connected to a condenser. There's a reservoir of water that are connected to pipes, and this cold water flows through, and the purpose is to cool down the steam. So the steam comes down, hits a turbine, flows down next to the condenser, it condenses back to liquid water, cools, and then is pumped back through via feed water pump through the steam generator again, is heated, flows through, and it continues this process in a cycle. So this cycle continues continuously, and this reaction continues.
Let's proceed to the applications of pressurized water reactor. Pressurized water reactors are used on nuclear ships, where it is very important to militaries around the world. This allows the ships to run for a very long time without refuels. PWR also makes a good reactor for these ships, since they have a very high specific power due to their pressure. The advantage is it's easy to operate because less power is being produced as the heat increases. In addition, the core of the reactor contains less desired materials, decreasing the chance of additional fission even to occur, making the reactor safer and more controllable. There is no chance for contaminations because the primary and the secondary loops are separated. Water cannot be contaminated by radioactive materials in the main system loops. The conclusion is the water from the primary and the secondary loops never be mixed. Hi, it's me, Narsha Razlan, who prepared the previous video. Alhamdulillah, I'm able to finish my videos after do some research from this website. Okay, I want to thank to all of you because you paying attention and watching my video. Hopefully my video helps you to understand more on the pressurized water reactor. That's all from me. Thank you. Have a nice day.